Nino Benvenuti, there was just a total, I mean, it started with Barney Ross, Rock Marciano, and then a little before my time,
but
Ingemar Johansson, and then Nino Benvenuti, who was a Italian middleweight, pretty well known at the time, and he came up to train, but he wasn't interested in kosher food.
Yeah.
And so he actually lived at the house next to us in the Grossinger cottage, and I don't know if it was there or we built a kitchen for him so that he could have his Italian, non-kosher Italian food while he was training. And there's so, I mean, the boxing thing is something that was always very much a part of us, and it went through the years. I mean, we always had big fighters for the big fights, whether it was starting with Barney and Ingemar and so forth, and all the way up through to Trevor Berbick, who fought for his title fight against Ali at Grossinger's and became very good friends with us for quite a while, and Michael Spinks, who trained, Hector Camacho, Roberto Duran trained at Grossinger's and then left 2 weeks before to go out to Las Vegas for the No Mas fight. And it was very interesting that through all those boxers that were there was always a boxer in training. It seemed like there's always somebody training. Of course, we had a great relationship with John Condon.
Yes.
And the Garden was really the mecca of boxing at that point. And they promoted a lot of fights either in the Garden or out of the Garden.
What was John's time? Was he president?
Well, John Condon was he was in charge of boxing. He was also the PA announcer for the Knicks. And he was,
he was a nice man.
But boxing at the Garden was a very big thing at that point. It was a big, massive part of their business. And so we always had a tremendous amount of fighters coming in and out. It seemed like one would leave and one would come back, and always in training. And as a result of that, Mark and I got to meet a lot of these boxing people, and one of them we met was a guy named Milt Schwatsky, who was Michael Spinks and Butch Lewis, who was a kind of flamboyant promoter at the time's lawyer. And Mark, of course, used those friendships that he made and really helped perhaps a future president, I don't know, become a major casino player in Atlantic City by using his friends and his contacts to get Trump Plaza into the boxing game and having all the Michael Spinks fights and the big time boxing that really put Atlantic City on the map into its heyday. And it was amazing how all the friendships you made and all the connections you made lasted all those years. And I was still very close to Milton up until the time he passed away. And you would see the people over the years, how he evolved. And boxing and Grossinger's, people don't realize that it was really Barney Ross and the columnists that made Grossinger's and Jenny this world famous destination.